Welcome to House Culture Conversations. Happy New Year. It is 2024, and we're excited to hang out with DJ SerQet. DJ SerQet, how are you?
Hey, D-Lot, I'm doing great.
You're
It,
doing great.
yep,
How's the new year been so far?
it's been quiet. I really did not like going back to work on the second because I was off for 2 full weeks, but I got back into the groove and it's not that bad. This week wasn't too bad for 4 day week.
Wait a minute. You was off for 2 weeks?
Yeah, I work
I
this
want to
corporate
work with
job.
you. I want to work with you, and we can get 2 weeks off.
I work at this corporate job. I've been there for 29 years and a couple of months, and I've accrued that much PTO, in a year. So yeah, I saved it
Yeah.
up. I worked a lot for the first 6 months and then took it all in the second 6 months.
Hi, well, welcome on in, everybody. We are hanging out with DJ SerQet. Tell us a little bit about you.
All about me. Well, my name is DJ SerQet. That's my DJ name, and that's what y'all are gonna know me as. I was born in New York, in Queens, Flushing, Queens, and we eventually moved out on further out onto Long Island. Um, Graduated from high school, moved down to Georgia to go to college, and I've been here ever since. different
Now,
different places, different spots in Atlanta, Georgia. I've lived in Midtown, on the East Side, Northwest Side now. So I've lived everywhere here in
well,
Atlanta.
you've been all over Atlanta now. You,
I've been
you, you
around
know.
Atlanta, and I.
So now, did you come from a musical family?
Yes. As far as I can know, you know, growing up Baptist, we in the Baptist church. Grandma, my aunt, my mom sang in the choir. My dad sang in choirs. My uncles played piano. I had cousins that played instruments and sang. I distinctly remember I think it might have been a 4th of July weekend out on Long Island where my three cousins, they basically had a band, and they were doing little disco songs out there, and we were playing basketball. It's just, yes, a very musical family, 1000%.
So when did DJing come on the scene?
Um, So let's take it back to the musical family. Yeah. So my mom always played music on the radio. Her top three things were country music, gospel music, and this thing called Family Radio up in New York. It was a station, I think, out of New Jersey. But when I got old enough, I guess I bugged my folks for a tape recorder, and they gave me a tape recorder. And it was me sitting next to the stereo on the radio station WBLS and doing pause button tapes. So it started when I was a wee little child. Yes.
Well, SpongeBob Dave, we see you. Happy New Year, brother.
SpongeBob,
He
Dave.
he's got a question for you. He
Sure.
wants to know, how did you come up with your DJ name, DJ SerQet?
That is a great question. Let me slide to the right one time. Left. So you see that image right there? That is the Egyptian goddess Serqet. And Serqet is the scorpion goddess of Egypt, and her statue was found guarding the tomb of King Tut Umen. I think I said that right. King Tut. So fast forward from King Tut era to the mid 90s or so, and me and four dudes, we were a gaming set for what it's worth. And if you can imagine gaming back in the 90s, we had these desktops. We would take them to each other's house and hook them up with the Ethernet wires and play like Doom and stuff. So the guys are like, hey, let's pick gaming names. Let's pick them from Egyptian gods and goddesses. And me, as the only woman in the crew, I picked Serqet because I'm a Scorpio and I'm a goddess.
So now, when did you get into house music specifically?
So house music specifically, like I said, I came down to Georgia, Atlanta to go to college, and in my college career, I did different different music genres. I got into Prince. Hip hop was happening, but then hip hop became horribly misogynistic, and I couldn't take it anymore. And then me and a friend from work, she was from New York too, and she had her husband here, and I had a boyfriend, and she was like, I heard about this place called the Color Box. It was Valentine's Day. Let's go to the Color Box. So I went to the Color Box with them, and we was dancing, the little two step. Then a DJ was something hit me when a DJ was boom boom, and I started doing this. I started jumping and the 2 feet off the ground, and that's when house music hit me because I was always a disco funk, black music, R&B type of person. And when house hit me, it was that perfect tempo. It's the tempo of house and the feeling that got me.
Well, hey, welcome on in, everybody. I see you, Miss K Love. Hey, what's happening? John Davis Jr., welcome on in. We are hanging out with DJ SerQet, talking about the music that we love and the culture that we love so much. So, why is house continued to be so important as a genre and spawn so many other genres even today?
So I think that is the case, that house has spawned so many genres and it still continues to this day, is because of people like me that think house music is timeless. You don't get stuck in a box like little genres like, and I don't want to disrespect anybody, but the mumble rap and this and that and the other. House is out there. It's universal and timeless. You can listen to a track from the late 80s or when house music first started, compared to a Louis Vega track from the 90s and something from D, DJ Irv or other artists today, and you can blend them all together. It's like you don't get stuck in a year or an age. It's just music and a feeling as it
Yeah,
goes.
for sure. If the fam's coming in Breezy 88, what's happening? Say hello to DJ SerQet.
Hi
DJ
y'all.
Silk Smooth is
DJ
in the building. Yeah, the fam is coming out. So much love and support. Now, tell us a little bit about the scene, the house scene in Atlanta.
So from my perspective right now, the only thing that I know about the house scene in Atlanta today is DJ Kemet, who is also Universal. He does parties, still does parties now. He did them before the pandemic, resumed shortly after things died down a little bit. And of course, there's House in the Park. House in the Park, Kemet and Salah and what's his name? NDATL. Kai, there it
Mhm.
is. Those guys, and there's another one, Ramon. Those guys, they have kept up that party and basically make the Labor Day weekend an event. There's stuff all over. So Kemet's keeping house going here in Atlanta, as well as DJ Debbie Graham,
Mhm.
who she and I DJ'd around each other and together in the 2000s. Different genres, not just house. I can play any genre, but I love house music. I beat match and blend and stuff. But yeah, Debbie Graham does a regular sets, and Kemet does regular stuff, and I'm pretty sure other people do. But House in the Park definitely brings everybody to Atlanta on Labor Day.
Now, so House in the Park is Labor Day in Atlanta. I've heard about it. I have not made it. I've been in the act of going, and I
Uh-huh.
just was like, it'll be all right. I'll catch it next time.
Well, I'll tell you the
So,
truth. Personally, I've only it's been here and all, and it gets so big, but I become an old house homebody, and I literally have been there twice. I've only been
hmm
to House and Park twice. I went once before and kind of rode around, listened to it, and driving around in the in the traffic. But then one time I definitely went and I bought a package which had a tent and other accoutrements for my 50th birthday. That's the last time I physically went.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and it
Now,
now wait really quick. So since 2020 with the pandemic, I'm kind of leery, and who knows if I'll go this coming year. But I with me with older parents, I'm just trying to lay low so that we don't bring no contamination to the house.
Yes, yes, I hear you. Well, I tell you what, these get-togethers now out at events, whether it's Chosen Few or House in the Park in Atlanta, are opportunities for the Twitch fam to get together. So I wanted to kind of lean over there. What has Twitch been like for you? How long you've been on it, and what has been your experience there?
So I got on Twitch in around May 2021 as an artist. I previously, the pandemic came and folks like Kemet was on, Louis Vega, of course. What's the guy from the Roots? What's the guy from the Roots name? The furry hair, the drummer from the Roots.
Questlove.
Questlove, yeah. So early 2020, I was on a project at work, and I would work late nights, and Questlove would come on, and I'd have him on my iPad, and I'm working and chilling. He would do stuff, and he's like, "We're also on Twitch." I'm like, "Twitch? What's Twitch? What's Twitch?" And I heard about Kemet on Twitch and other, and I just started checking out Twitch, and I saw all the different types of people on there and all different genres, and I said, well, I DJ, maybe I can do it on Twitch too. And then it became a matter of investing in the cameras and the other things and the streaming computer. I reached out to a person, a DJ called DJ Artistic. He's here on Twitch, and I follow him on Twitter. So I reached out to him. I'm like, how do you stream? How do you do that? And he laid it out. He's like, I have a streaming computer and my DJ computer, and work it out like that. I said, okay. And in the back of my head, streaming computer, DJ computer. Okay. So I went and bought that streaming computer because I already had the DJ computer and just put it together. My very early Twitch sets, you could tell that I didn't know what the heck I was doing, but eventually I would do that and listen back and watch back. And I said, okay, here's how I can improve. And that's how I did it. That's how I did it with my DJing also. I've always recorded my sets, listen back and say, you can fix this, you can fix that. And so that's what got me here today. And I've been DJing since 1999.
So the consummate professional, and if you listen to DJ SerQet, she not only plays her set, but she records it, listens to it, and gets better. And you can tell whenever you listen to her set, a lot of great music, a lot of great curation, but also very entertaining and a lot of fun. Now, SpongeBob Dave wanted to ask you about streaming versus playing live. Have you found it harder streaming to connect with your audience streaming?
Um, I guess kind of, yeah, because I'm a I'll tell folks I'm a DJ, not an MC. So in the past when I played out, we'd be up in a DJ booth or whatever, and you don't have to get on the mic, you have to sing and just play some music and watch the reaction and blah blah. But now it's like if you're not talking, folks are like, oh, they ain't saying nothing, and they'll switch over. So, have to add in a few extra anecdotes, say hi to people and stuff. So it's a little different. I probably still am, but I've done mobile DJing too. So I have all the stuff to take out to a place to play. I have all the equipment, etc. And I've done weddings and other events, and have had to use my MC skills, but that's not the first thing that I think of. My first thing that I want y'all to recognize is the art and the blends, and like you said, the curation.
Yes, yes. Hey, what's happening, DJ Doug? Peace. Also, DCR is in the building. What's happening? What's happening? And if we have missed you, just get in that chat and we'll make sure we say hello to you. We appreciate you all so much for tuning in to check out our conversation with DJ SerQet. So I want to talk a little bit about, you do something in your show. You put up a list of uh, women DJs,
Mm-hmm.
and you are very consistent with that. I'll say every show I've gone to, at some point, if not once, twice, you say, here's a list of women DJs to go check out and follow. Why is that so important to you?
So that's important to me because when I went started going to parties here in Atlanta as a youngster, and you go to a thing here or there and you see a DJ here or there, they're all men. When I came up dancing, going to the house music parties, all the DJs that folks were fawning over, they were men. Ron Pullman, Ramon, DJ Kimmett, Kai Alcé, a whole every DJ that are most of them are here on Twitch too. Salah, DJ Salah, they're all men. It took me going on a work trip to San Francisco, and I'm out in San Francisco for 10 days, ain't got shit to do. So I said, let me try and find some house music, right? And had my computer, and this was 1997, so the internet wasn't that big. So I said, okay, I figured out that there was a party at a certain spot. I took a taxi out there and walked in, and voila, it's a woman playing house music. And I was blown away. I enjoyed the hell out of myself that night. I have some other stories I probably can't tell over the airwaves and so on, but that night was awesome. And I don't remember the DJ's name, but she was a black woman, and she tore it up and gave me the inspiration to then come back to Atlanta and tell the guys, I want to play. Do you mind mentoring me? Ron Pullman and Ramon, they were like, yeah, I can show you some things. And I've kept their mentoring things in my head ever since then. As a matter of fact, just last night, Ron Pullman said, use your monitor and always have something moving on your body to keep the time. And if you can't hear, turn down your monitor. And I was like, hearing these gems from these older guys was like, yeah, and they have definitely stuck with me. So I've always, like I said earlier, I've always loved music, had music and musicality in my family. I played the viola in grade school and high school, and I only did that because excuse me, I had that musical aptitude test in grade school, and they said, pick an instrument. So I went home. Hey, they said I can play an instrument. Daddy, I want to play the saxophone. Daddy said, saxophone ain't for a girl. Play the violin. I said, I want to play the violin. Okay, so we agreed that I would play the viola. So yeah, I was in orchestra, and it's great to hear, all those instruments and stuff. I can recognize them. I still like classical music. I'm just a musical type person, and any time of day, there's some track running through my head.
So now you've talked a lot about the people who have mentored you and the people that have been an influence to you. What are some of your memorable moments over your career as a DJ in house?
Okay, I have a few. So before I was a DJ, I was a dancer, and I said earlier, one of the first uh, areas that got me into house was this spot called the Color Box. So after that, I ended up finding my way back to the Color Box one hot, sweltering summer night, and we're in there jacking, dancing, and such. And the DJ was Ted Patterson, and it was just and Ted with two D's. Y'all might know Ted Patterson. And the DJ was Ted Patterson, and he was just going off. And we were hot and sweating, and just the crowd was going wild. All of a sudden, this dude comes back from the bar with a wash tub full of ice. And he's just throwing ice. People are grabbing ice, and we're throwing ice, and we're throwing on us, and we're stomping on just water going everywhere. That was the best house party experience ever. I swear. That one. Another one, and this is when I'm DJing here in Atlanta. The house community was kind of tight, and this one young lady, her name is Jessica. I don't remember her last name. She was a radio DJ for Georgia State, and she had this she had this house music show called House Something. And when you get old, you forget that kind of stuff. But anyway, Georgia State had a house music show every Friday night, every Friday or Saturday night. And so other folks were on that show, and then I got invited. They were like, "SerQet, do you want to play, or are you available to play at the church on this show on this night, and you'll be opening for DJ Kim?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can do that." And this was before the computer and this SSD cards and stuff. You had to bring your records. So I brought my records. I had a new headphone set. It was noise canceling. I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kill this." I had a recorder that I tried to plug in, and the sound guy was like, "Can you plug this in?" He plugged it in, and I get to playing, and I can't hear a damn thing because the monitors are so loud. My noise canceling headphones are doing Hey Breeze DBL, and the headphones aren't picking up. So I finally just had to like spin without headphones, which I had never done before. So I'm struggling. Ah. And Kemet comes in like, "Hey Kemet, what's up? Dope, you're next." Kemet comes on and plays Jill Scott, He Loves Me, and the crowd goes wild. And I was like, oh man. So I hated my performance. I loved his. So that's and probably 88% of the time, or sorry, 20% of the time, I don't like my whole performance, but I've grown into the fact that I'm experienced and I have skills and I can do it. But that's was one DJ experience that it was rough, but it ended up working out.
Yeah, sometimes those folks that come after you, man, they can put it on you. They can put it
But and I said, damn, when we talked to him after, he's like, you did. I told Kim, and I was like, you did really well with it. He's like, well, you served it right up for me. I was like, thank you. So that was like a DJ compliment there.
and you know what, I will tell you, that's what I love about the community. There's much love in the house community. There's
Mm,
much love and respect for those people coming, especially more so today than maybe in times past. I think, back 30 years ago, I remember you hid all the names of your records and you blank stuff out so nobody could
right.
see what you were playing, right?
Gatekeeping.
You didn't
Gatekeeping.
where you get that from? Wouldn't you like to know?
Yep.
So
Yep.
today I find it much more encouraging and supportive. We're hanging out with DJ SerQet on House Conversations, and Breeze DBL was happening. So minded, welcome on in. Good to see you guys. Happy New Year. So where do you think all of this is going, DJ SerQet?
Um, if you ask me, house ain't going nowhere as
Mhm.
long as people like me and you and other folks here on Twitch and in other spaces keep it up. Um, and Louis Vega's still doing it. You know, the old heads are still doing it, producing and playing here. Then you got new school artists that are coming up and promoting their music on Bandcamp. Artists like Calvin Soul and K2, and a to promote women artists, an artist on Bandcamp called Ducky Dynamo. She's in Baltimore, and her genre is Baltimore club music, which to me is only house at 130 beats or more. So you know, I hear house everywhere. I hear house in gospel. I hear house in a R&B track. I mean, to me, anything can be house music. So as long as other folks have that same thought, um, it'll never go anywhere. And I mentioned earlier, I'm looking forward to my retirement date because once I get rid of corporate America, I will have the time to put the ideas that I want to put into house music out there for y'all to hear. So maybe in a
Well,
year or less, y'all be downloading a track from me on Bandcamp.
well, we love the sound of that. We cannot wait for that. But you said something. House is not going anywhere, and as we know, we're getting older.
Hmm.
What do you think about the young DJs that are coming up?
Um, the young DJs and producers, they are doing their thing. They're doing a thing. I had a person visit my Twitch show 6 months or so ago, and I was like, "Hey, such and such," and then I went over to visit my mom and my sister, and my nephew said, "Hey, Auntie, I loved your set." I was like, "Oh, so I didn't, you didn't participate in the chat, so they're listening, they're taking notes, and they're gonna come through and take over or at least contribute." Because, like I said, Louis still doing it, and how old is Louis Vega, right? I mean, and I've been dancing for 30 years, dancing and DJing for 30 years. So, it's as long as we keep putting it out there, the kids will pick it up. They'll pick it up. I guarantee. Just like when I was a kid, um, I grew up on Motown and Aretha and Gladys Knight and the Supremes, the Temptations, Marvin Gaye, and then disco came about. Disco was the catalyst that turned for me into funk and other stuff, and then of course naturally a few years after that, house music was started in Chicago. So music
Love would
music
love your thoughts on retouches. And hey, everybody out there, don't hesitate. If you've got a question for DJ SerQet, drop it in the chat. What are your thoughts on remixes and some of the edits on old classics that are very prevalent today in house?
I love them. There once was a when I was coming up trying to DJ, folks would say, don't play um popular house. That's not cool. You got to play everything. Got to be deep. You got to be, like you said, something nobody ever heard before. Whatever. What's up, Philippe the Haitian? Um, but to me, if somebody can take a gospel track and chop it and mix it and put some house beats behind it, I'm there. House doesn't have to be totally original. You can house is a feeling, to quote a song. As long as you got them beats and some good vocals, some good bass, and some other stuff, it's to me it's house music. I mean, I don't want to be a person that doesn't give props to their beginnings. And yes, redoing a track by Sherilyn and Luther Vandross is dope. Remixing and touching a an a performance by Jennifer Hudson at the 2014 Kennedy Center Honors for Al Green, turning that into a house track, to me is dope as hell. You hear, and that's the good thing. You hear the new thing, it makes you want to find the old thing. So it's a two-way
Mm.
street.
I love that. I love that. Philip the Haitian, we see you. DJ J. Edwards, welcome on in here. We're just vibing out with DJ SerQet. So tell folks how they can hear you on Twitch or what's upcoming and how people can connect with you.
All right, dope. Yeah, so I'm on Twitch, and my Twitch handle is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. You can find me, and I'm doing this like by the day of the week, every Tuesday at 8 o'clock on House Gumbo, along with DJ Mix ENT, DJ Chill Will, and DJ Bilal. Me and Bilal also go back a long way from one of my hometowns in New York. So there's that. And so that's Tuesday at 8 o'clock p.m. every Friday and Saturday night around 10 o'clock. And I say around because, a sister could get late one day or maybe not show up, but those are my days. So every Friday and Saturday night from 10 until I get tired or until I gotta stop because it's a date a day before I gotta go across town to see my folks. And then every second Thursday on abusiaradio.com, there's a replay of a vinyl set. I play CDJs and vinyl. I'm kind of versatile that way, and I'm glad of that. 2023 was good for me, music wise, because I did invest in some new equipment. And then every third Sunday at 12 o'clock p.m., you can catch me on Soul Lifter Sunday on Twitch. So right now, all my streaming out is on Twitch only. But like I said, once things die down and I have a lot of lot more free time, I'll explore other streaming opportunities.
There was a question in the chat from SpongeBob Dave. Your thoughts on some of the newer technology, for example, auto sync and things of that nature?
Good question. So like I just mentioned, as I've alluded to the whole set here, I started out on vinyl, and then when I saw folks doing the spinning with the computer, I was like, really? How's that going to work? But then boom, it exploded. Um, and then the CDJs and stuff. And I'm not sure if when you say auto sync, you mean like the sync button. Is that what you mean? Um,
Yeah.
it's not for me. It's not for me, but I don't, I don't hate anybody that uses it. We can't we all get along? Music is music, but it's not for me. I've tried it and maybe I haven't practiced on it much, but I just can't seem to get it because when I try to use the sync button, it doesn't, if I adjust the pitch on one, it adjusts it on the other two. And I'm like, that's not what's supposed, I didn't think that was supposed to happen. So I'm a troglodyte that way. And also I don't do much of what is the word? Looping. I can't get the loop thing either. I'm
Mm.
old school, old head with the new equipment.
Yeah, I hear you. Now, there was a question of what your thoughts. DJ Love House, welcome on in. DJ Love House asked, what about the quantize?
That's essential. I definitely set the quantize settings because when you do some of those effects, my mixer is a DJM 900 SRT. So some of those, affects the effects. The quantize helps the effects. It doesn't really help me when I blend because I'm not using sync, but quantize definitely helps with the effects and the sound that they put out.
Yeah, so I'm probably in the same boat as you. Some of the technology, great. Others, I can leave it. It just doesn't work for me necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
But again, at the level some of these DJs are DJing now, right? And the things that they can do with the technology, it's amazing. And I love what you said about, hey, you know what? As long as you're playing great music and it's not interrupting the vibe,
Mm-hmm.
we can party. I mean,
Right.
it's technology is going to advance us all. And so, anyway, I think that's a brilliant way to look at it. Appreciate you so much for vibing with us. This
Thank
has been
you.
fun. This
Yes,
has
sir.
been
Is
absolutely
it
a
over
blast.
already?
It actually is. Now, hey, if you got something else for the fam, the floor is yours. What would you
Um,
leave us with?
so I'll leave y'all with, if you stop by my stream and you hear something that you like, as I mentioned before, I record everything. So if you're ever interested in a set of mine, reach out to me and we can work something out. I used to post them on Mixcloud, but then Mixcloud came, they started um, restricting how many mixes you could put up there and what you could leave up there. So I kind of abandoned that. I might need to go back, but it's hard for me to pick a favorite child. Usually my favorite child is the last set I made and things like that. So yeah, but I have a few hard drives full of mixes. So that's it. Love you all, the DJs that come to support, and thank you everybody that came out today. I really appreciate you all.
Now, do you have your phone out?
My phone?
Yes,
Yes, I
we
do.
got to take these people to a party. We
Oh,
got to take them to a party. We got to raid out to a party. So as you scroll and tell me where to take these folks, hopefully I'm following them.
all right. Well, let's see here. Out of the folks on my that I'm following, DJ Dave 753
All right,
or
let's see.
DJ Ray Ray.
Which one? You tell me.
Let's go to Dave. Dave in Chicago.
Uh,
We almost had a chance to link up here in Atlanta back in September or something like that, but we didn't get a chance to connect. I have met other DJs from Twitch in real life though. Nita Dawn and DJ T-Law.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Davey Graham, because like I said, we met before Twitch. But so yeah, if you got DJ Dave 753 in your,
Is he got an underscore in there anywhere?
DJ underscore Dave.
Okay. DJ underscore
Dave.
Dave 753.
753, yes.
All right, folks, we're going to go party with DJ Dave 753. This has been an incredible conversation, DJ SerQet. And by the way, she mentioned, you can reach out to her for a set. But one of the things she does also is while she's playing, she lets you know the track that she's playing, what's coming up, the last track played. Mm-hmm. I love that. It sort of allows you to cheat and fill your crates. So I appreciate you for that.
Yeah, you don't need Shazam when you're listening to me unless it's vinyl, because that doesn't work with the vinyl tracks, but it works with Serato. But yeah, that's one of the things that I saw as I was accumulating the things that I was going to do for Twitch, watching what other people had, and then being the technological savvy old person that I am, I went and found something that works for me.
That's awesome.
Thank you, D-Lot, and thank you everyone for joining. Who else is here? Philippe the Haitian.
Philip the Haitian, DJ Love House came on in. I see your reco. I caught that a little late, but we will put that on the record for next time. You guys go enjoy the party with DJ Dave, and we'll catch you next week. Also tonight, we are going to have a listening party. Midas Retouch will be hosting a listening party for his Sade live retouches. Oh, so that's going to be a treat. You probably want to pick those up. So look forward to seeing him a little bit later tonight. I think in the next hour and a half or so.
All right.
Take care, everybody.
Bye, y'all. Catch me at 10. Sweet. Thank you, D-Lot.
You bet. Let me end the stream.